What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the annual Social Club Football Cookout. 31 days, 31 videos. All August long, we're giving you daily football content from the NFL to college football and everything in between. Expect videos on Heisman frontrunners, NFL MVPs, bold predictions, hot takes, and more as we gear up for the new season. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a day of football content. And if you want your voice to be heard, comment your thoughts down below and also join our Discord where we talk about sports 24/7, 365 days. Other than that, go ahead and pull up a chair, grab a plate, and let's talk football.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Social Club where everyone has a voice. I am your host, Nathan Garth, and today we are going to be talking about the 2026 Missouri Tigers. Again, we appreciate all of your guys' support, especially during the month of August where we're doing 30 videos in 30 days. Obviously, a lot of this is football-centric, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But if you guys would keep supporting, like, comment, subscribe, we'd love hearing your guys' opinions and thoughts on all the teams and all the previews that we've been doing this month.
Now, before we keep going, I want to let you guys know that this portion of the video is brought to you by our partnership with Kalshi. Kalshi is the largest legal prediction market in the US with over 1 million users, and they'll even pay interest on longer term positions while you're waiting for markets to resolve. Kalshi facilitates trades between people, kind of like the stock market. Unlike a sports book, there's no limit to how many trades you can actually make. If you got an edge or you keep winning, Kalshi is not going to stop you from placing those trades. Let me give you guys a quick example of what I'm talking about so you understand how everything works. So if I go over to, let's do college football Heisman. And right now we got between CJ Carr and Arch Manning. Then if you go down, if I were to place a trade and buy a contract for CJ Carr, all right, it's trading at 13 cents on the dollar. So if I put in $100 on that, it'd be $100 to win $725. But the also cool thing is it's going to take all year to see who's going to win the Heisman. So while you're waiting for that contract to settle, you also get 3.25% interest on it while you're waiting. So I think it's a win-win personally. If you want to try it yourself, head on over to kalshi.com/social club. Use code social club where you can get up to $500 when you place your first trade of up to $25. Other than that, let's get back to the video.
With that being said, I will kind of get into it. So just a quick recap of Mizzou's 2025 season. Obviously not where fans like myself expected the season to go. Now, I don't necessarily think that it was going to be another 10-2 season like we saw 2 years prior, winning the Cotton Bowl, et cetera, but with Bo Prabula coming in, there was some hype around this team. Obviously, it was the Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts breakout year. Arguably the best running back duo in the country. I actually don't see why it is that arguable. In my opinion, Ahmad Hardy is the best running back in the country. I know a lot of people will say that that is Kawan Lacey, but mind you that Kawan Lacey left Mizzou under the assumption that Mizzou was going in another direction. Obviously, that became Ahmad Hardy. From last year, coming into the 2026 season, there were a lot of changes, pretty much overhauling the entire defense. You had guys like Zion Young, Chris McClellan, Josiah Trotter, Toriana Pride, etc. Get drafted for the NFL. So that was really great to see that Mizzou continues to develop NFL talent on the defensive side. It's obviously been a strength of most Mizzou teams outside of some of those Drew Lock years. But nonetheless, a lot of overturn on that defensive side. From the offensive side, Caden Green coming back was such a huge keep. One of the top guard / tackle prospects for the upcoming NFL year. And he definitely could have been a day 2 pick if he would have gone to the NFL. So you've heard us talk about it, but these are some of the advantages in this NIL era where guys that maybe aren't getting a massive signing bonus like these first rounders can actually come back to college and make similar, if not more, money. So from the offensive side, not a ton of key pieces leaving. Receiving core is pretty similar to last year. Obviously, the big position difference is under center. Bo Pribula moving on to the University of Virginia, and the Mizzou Tigers bringing in Austin Simmons from Ole Miss. Austin Simmons is a weird one. On one side, Lane Kiffin, this QB guru and offensive genius, had him as a starter over Trinidad Chambliss going into the year. So I do think that there is some context to that. If Lane Kiffin thought that Austin Simmons was more impressive in camp and in spring ball, then I definitely trust that the talent's there. Obviously, a lot of the discourse surrounding Austin Simmons was turnovers and obviously injuries. So I think when he did come back and he did kind of get a chance to redeem himself, it didn't look too good. And I think a lot of that is from that injury. But again, the turnovers are definitely a cause for concern. He does bring one of his top receivers with him as well, in Caden Lee. I actually really love what Mizzou's done from the receiver room perspective. Obviously, Donovan Olubade, one of the best freshman receivers in the country. Really excited to see him with a quarterback that can actually push the ball downfield. But also adding additional guys like Caleb Goody from Cincinnati and Nashawn Montgomery from Florida. I think there was also a Minnesota transfer that is looking to be like wide receiver 4. But nonetheless, I really, really like what they did with the receiver room. I think Caden Lee, Caleb Goody, and Donovan Olubade is a pretty exciting group there. A lot of speed. Olubade and Caden Lee have a very big catch radius and can make big plays down the field. So really excited to see if Austin Simmons can push the ball downfield, because Mizzou's been missing that dynamic for quite some time. Even in our successful years with Brady Cook, pushing the ball downfield was a struggle. So again, from the offensive line room, Gadice is coming back, which will really help Caden Green as well. But the big issue with the Missouri offensive line is obviously we brought in Josh Adkins from Arizona State and Mississippi State previously to kind of solidify that right tackle role. Recently, at the beginning of camp, he actually, I think it was even before camp, just in summer, did something to his leg. So he's questionable on if there will be a turn, when there will be a return. So, but I'm very confident in how Mizzou has handled the O-line in recent years and kind of shuffling people around. Even Caden Green, he's played right tackle, he's played left guard, he's played left tackle. So kind of ironic that Mizzou finally gets an elite left tackle and then we get a lefty quarterback. So not even the true blindside anymore. But running back room, the big cause for concern, as horrible and scary as it was, is obviously Ahmad Hardy and the incident that happened this summer with him being caught by a stray bullet at a concert down in Mississippi. I really do not know what is going on there. You hear from Eli Drinkwitz and the Mizzou side, and they're like, snap one, game one. It was a 6-week plan about 4 weeks ago, so that would put him on the timeline to play that opening game. But I do think that they might give Ahmad Hardy an extra week and a half or so, since that first game is a cupcake with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Regardless, there are some people in the SEC media, leaks, whatever, depending on how much context you take with all of these, but there have been some talks about, maybe he won't play till week 6, or maybe they're just going to hold him till Mississippi State in week 4, which is the first true test Obviously, they played Kansas prior, but it's Kansas. So, but there's people even saying they don't think that he's going to play the entire year. I find that very, very hard to believe in. Ahmad Hardy seems like he's in good spirits. I know you can't really tell if they're going to be healthy until they take a hit to that leg or take 15 hits to that leg throughout the course of an actual game. But very optimistic that he's going to be fine and good to go. As much as that was a horrible situation and it really sucks for Mizzou, the good thing is that we have arguably the best backup running back in the country. I think Jamal Roberts would probably start on over half of the teams in the SEC at running back. So if the worst situation does come to be and he's not playing till week 7 or 8, or he's not playing the entire year, I'm still confident that we can have a good running game. Not to mention how good our running game last year was without any sort of passing game. I think they were 14th in the SEC in passing yards per game. So the fact that they were that effective with almost no passing game to kind of help them out makes me feel a little better. I don't necessarily think Austin Simmons is the greatest quarterback ever. He's going to push for a Heisman. He's going to throw for 300 yards a game. I don't think to that extreme, but I would be very hard pressed to imagine a world where he is not more effective than Bo Prabula, which makes me think that even the running backs Jamal and Ahmad are going to be even more effective. But all in all, the offense I'm very, very excited about. I think that it can be an offense that it might not put up 50 points a game, but obviously no one's actually putting up 50 points a game. I don't necessarily think it's an offense that's going to put up 30 points a game, but I do think that if we can get early leads in games and just feed Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts while also pushing the ball downfield with Brett and Caden and Donovan, I think this offense can be, anywhere between that 3rd to 7th range in the SEC. I think that's definitely attainable. Not to mention the new offensive coordinator, Chip Lindsey, coming over from Michigan. He's had experience in very high-powered offenses, so really excited about that. He's coached North Carolina and I think UCF as well, but he has a little bit of SEC experience too. He was the offensive coordinator for Auburn in the late teens, I believe. So really excited about where this offense could be. But kind of going more so on the defensive side, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of guys leaving, a lot of elite guys leaving too, obviously with 4 players drafted from that defensive side, with Zion Young and Toriano Pride, Josiah Trotter, and Chris McClellan. I'll be honest, I didn't love the additions made on defense. I think there's a couple guys that are going to be studs, like Chris Graves and Bobby Washington. Chris Graves coming over from Ole Miss as well. That kind of seemed to be the theme of our transfer portal was Ole Miss guys. I think there were like 4 or 5 total. But also got some transfers from Oregon in the secondary with Jahil Florence and Sion Lally. So I think our defensive back room might be a little bit better. Obviously, there's a lot of guys that weren't necessarily starting at their respected universities that they came from, but behind some other NFL draft guys too. So you never know. Santana Banner's back as well. So I think the DB room will be solid. I definitely don't think it's a strength of the defense. On the defensive end side, losing Damon Wilson to the transfer portal really stung. I felt like that's a guy where you pretty much just ask him how much he needs. I know competing with Miami might not be the easiest thing from a number standpoint, but I thought that was a big, big loss letting him kind of go to the portal. He's a stud. He's going to be, if not a first-round pick, a day 2 pick for sure, considering all things go well for him. So wish him the best, but really, really tough to lose him and Zion Young in the same offseason. probably one of the best edge duos, if not in the country, in the SEC for sure. So regardless, they technically have lost all 11 starters on the defense. Now there's some guys at linebacker and defensive line and secondary that were pretty much starters and were rotation guys, but on the box score starters lost the entire defense. So that'll definitely be a challenge. I truly think that this defense is probably going to take a step back. I think that's pretty easy to say, obviously with losing all the starters, but I think the offense will pick up and kind of even that out. So I'll kind of get into the schedule and the game by game here in just a minute, but I imagine a pretty similar season from Mizzou this year, unless Austin Simmons is a lot better than some of us think, or Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts just have the greatest running back duo season ever. So with that being said, I'll kind of walk through Mizzou's schedule. First 3 weeks are very pivotal, not just winning the games, but kind of showing us that the defense can keep lesser opponents under a score. I think if UA, Pine Bluff, or Troy put up more than 10 in those first couple of games, I'll be a little concerned. But just walking through it, Pine Bluff week 1, easy win. Kansas week 2. Obviously, the Kansas game last year was a little scary. I think going into the game, Mizzou was definitely looked at as a much better team. And honestly, for most of that game, Mizzou looked like they were going to fall. It was very back and forth in the second half, but Kansas got up to a 2-score lead. And if it wasn't for Jamal Roberts and Ahmad Hardy making big plays, I don't know if we win that game. Now, I do think Kansas has gotten worse from last year a lot more than Mizzou has, but really excited for it to be the first game back in Lawrence in quite some time. I don't know what they're doing with their stadium and all these renovations. They've been renovating a stadium for like 4 straight years, but it looks like it's going to be a limited capacity game as well. So I would imagine that it's going to feel like a lesser game, but Mizzou definitely needs to treat this like it's another SEC game because the schedule does not get easier after the first 3 weeks. Week 4 is going to be the true first test, in my opinion, with Mississippi State. Mississippi State's got a lot of hype around them, brought in some very talented guys, and they think that their offense is going to be extremely explosive. So that'll be the first real test for the defense as well. Can you keep a team that's fast and explosive and keep them in check so that our offense can kind of do the rest? I do have Mississippi State as a win. Truthfully, if they lose that game, I would not be surprised at all. And if they lose that Mississippi State game, it could get ugly real quick. The next game I have is Florida. If we go 2-0 in this Mississippi State-Florida stretch, I will be very, very confident on where the season was going. Not because I think Mississippi State or Florida are some elite teams by any means, but if you can't beat the non-top 5 to 7 teams in the SEC, you're going to have a long season. So I do think that having Florida at home is a big help. I honestly, if this game's in Florida, in the Swamp, I probably would put it as a loss. But I trust that we can beat Florida, and hopefully it's not as stressful as the last time Florida came to Mizzou with the famous 4th and 17 conversion. But I have Mizzou starting 5-0, and this is kind of where the season really starts. Back-to-back home games after Florida, getting Texas A&M. Texas A&M the last 2 years has been probably the 2 worst games that Mizzou has played. Just absolutely boat raced, non-competitive at all. I think it'll be a lot more competitive this year, but I truly do not see us beating Texas A&M at all. Now, if they go through Mississippi State, Florida, and Texas A&M 6-0, and the offense is humming, the defense is, There might not be an elite defense, but they're getting turnovers and getting stops when they need to. I'm going to start having some thoughts that I probably shouldn't have. Mostly because we can never be competitive with Texas A&M. But still probably 4 more playoff hopeful or should be's left on the schedule. So if you can get through those first 6 games at 6-0, and you only have to go 4-2 down the stretch to make a playoffs, assuming that 10-2 with some big wins get you in the playoffs, which it should, I will start getting very excited. But as of right now, I have Mizzou at 5-1. Moving on to play at Ole Miss. I'm a little lower on Ole Miss than most people are. I definitely think they're good. I definitely would not be surprised or anything if they made the playoffs. But I personally don't think that they're going to make the playoffs. I don't really see a way, as good as Kawan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss are, I don't see a world where you can lose a top 5 to 7 coach in college football and get better. Now, if they go to the playoffs and lose the first game, like technically that wasn't better than last year, but I think there's going to be a little bit of drop off on Ole Miss. So, but I do have them beating Mizzou in this game. So right now I have Mizzou at 5-2 with wins over Mississippi State and Florida and Kansas in the 2 cupcakes, and losses home against Texas A&M and at Ole Miss. Then we go and play Arkansas. It's a damn shame this game is not the last game of the season like it's been since we moved to the SEC. Really upset by that, actually, but as I go on, you'll see why it's not the worst thing in the world, because getting Oklahoma, an old foe, old Big 12 rival, as the last game is kind of fun too. And honestly, as much as I love beating up on Arkansas and making them a little brother, like when the last game of the season usually isn't competitive, it does kind of suck a little bit. But I do have Mizzou beating Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to be the worst team in the SEC. Obviously, new coach coming from Memphis, coming to a team that he beat with Memphis, which is ironic. But have Mizzou at 6-2 going into the hardest 2-game stretch of the season. Home against Texas and at Georgia. Long story short, I have us losing both of these games. Funny enough, Mizzou has historically, the last 5 years, played Georgia harder than damn near everybody in the SEC. 2 years ago and 3 years ago, beating them in the fourth quarter of both games. One of those teams went to the national championship and one of them won it. So it's weird. We always play them well, but I really don't see a way we beat Texas or Georgia. Honestly, if we beat Texas that home game, that would be probably one of the bigger wins since we've been in the SEC, especially if Texas is 7-1, 8-0 going into that game. Like that would be pretty crazy. Mizzou has never beaten a number 1 overall team in college football history, and you could argue they're going to have maybe 2 chances this year. I mean, we played A&M, Ole Miss, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma. Like probably Texas and Georgia, that would be those 2 games. But you never know if A&M or Ole Miss start out 5, 6, 7-0, and some other top teams fall. Like Mizzou's going to have. I think Mizzou is going to have a crack at a top number 1 overall team this year. So that'll be exciting. But long story short, Texas, Georgia losses. So right now I have Mizzou at 6-4 going into the last 2 games of the year. Kentucky at home win. I do think Kentucky is going to be a little bit better than most people think. I think they'll kind of be in the same tier as Mississippi State, kind of above Arkansas and Vandy, but kind of in that Mississippi State, South Carolina, probably Mizzou's in that tier as well, but I have them beating Kentucky at home to move to 7-4 going into the last game of the season. Oklahoma at home. Really fun matchup, really fun game. I think Oklahoma is going to be really, really good this year. I think Mateer is going to be healthy. I think that defense is going to be nasty. And honestly, like if things go to plan for Oklahoma, like this is probably a game that they're going to have to win to stay on the playoffs, whether that means they're 11-1 or it means they're 10-1 or 9-2. I think this would be awesome if they were 9-2 going into this game and it was win and get in the playoffs, lose and you're out. But this is really the only upset that I have on Mizzou's schedule. You could argue every game I've picked, the games Mizzou's favored, I have them winning. The games Mizzou's going to be underdogs, I have them losing. So I think this is going to be my only big upset of the Missouri year. I actually have us beating Oklahoma week 12, knocking them out of the playoffs. And not to mention, it could be a situation where they're 10-1 or 11-0 and they're not really playing for anything. I would hate to see college football get to a place where teams rest starters that know that they're going to be in the playoffs, but with college football nowadays, who freaking knows? But I do have Mizzou beating Oklahoma last game of the year to have an overall record of 8-4. While that sounds like a disappointing year, I think if they went 8-4, that means they had some pretty solid wins, whether that's a mixture of Florida, A&M, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, whatever that combination is. If they go 8-4, it means they probably beat a good team or two, but definitely not where you would like to see it. We kind of got a tough schedule this year after the last 2 years kind of having some favorable ones. So that's really all I have for the Mizzou outlook this year. Really excited to see if Ahmad Hardy bounces back, walks out to many men, just Heisman type season, and can lead the Tigers to possibly having the best ground attack in the country. So, but you guys let me know what your thoughts are, what your opinion on the Mizzou season is going to look like, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. We obviously appreciate and are open to all and any discussion as long as it is respectful. I see some of y'all's comments, but they make us laugh. So we appreciate you guys continuing supporting us. 30 videos in 30 days in August, just keeping them rolling. And we appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, liking all these videos. So with that being said, I will see you guys on the next one.